Begin in Lagos, where the wheel of justice has finally moved to a logical conclusion regarding the trial of kingpin Chukwudimeme Onwuamadike, otherwise known as Evans. And Ikeja Special Offences Court has sentenced Evans to 21 years imprisonment. Let's share the story by TVC News' Kemi Fola Adeyemo with you.
Mr. Onwuamadike, a.k.a. Evans, and Victor Aduba were arraigned in 2017 on a 4-count charge of kidnapping Mr. Ahamonu. The prosecution had presented 4 witnesses, including the victim, to testify in its case. Both defendants testified in their defense and presented no witnesses. The victim had testified in court how he was kidnapped by armed men dressed in army uniform, one of whom he identified as Evans, and how he was freed after 2 months upon paying the ransom. The victim also told the court that he again identified Evans at the police station upon his arrest, and that the defendant even apologized to him for the acts. The judge held that the witness' ability to recollect who he saw wasn't discredited, and that it was unlikely he could have forgotten the identity of his abductors within that interval. In upholding Evans' confessional statement while in custody, the court dismissed his allegations of torture by the police and held that there were no bruises or marks on him. During his video interview with the police, the judge held that the interrogation done by a police sergeant, Julius Ekundayo, was, quote, skillfully extracted, as Evans was seen duly cautioned before the questioning, and that he asked the officer to write down his statement for him, which he then signed after it was read out. The police officer and his superior were also found to have countersigned the statement. The court added that Evans revealed all his escapades in that interview and mentioned the names of his victims and the ransoms paid. He spoke freely, as if he was proud of his accomplishments. The second defendant was also convicted after it was established that he was a member of Evans' kidnap gang and that his role while serving as a soldier was to give them free passage while on the operations. Both defense counsel Amobin Zelo and Adiola Folari urged the court to impose a lesser sentence. But the court adopted the argument of prosecution counsel Yusuf Sule in imposing the maximum 21-year sentence, noting that it would serve as a deterrent for the rampant crimes of kidnapping in the society. Kemi Fola Adeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
Julie, Chukwudimeme Onwuamadike, let me use the word of the bench, is in for a long thing. This is not just the end. He has committed so many atrocities that his jurisdiction is not even in Lagos alone. It will have to be taken.
That's his own jurisdiction. He has a preeminent jurisdiction.
So I don't envy him at all. This is just like a slap in the
They are still taking him to the east. He's still going to the east. He has a case to answer in the east until when all those cases are decided, before we know
the fates.
Yes. And you know, in these different states, the laws differ. There are some states where the maximum penalty is death. Yes.
Especially those eastern states. I know
yes,
there are houses of assembly
Delta,
promulgated
states like that. I remember a governor whose mother was kidnapped, you know, and as soon as he became governor, his mother was kidnapped when he was a lawmaker. As soon as he became governor, he came up with a law stipulating the
maximum punishment,
the death penalty. So he feels like somebody who felt it. You know, Mali said, who feels it knows it, you know. So the person who knows it, who feels it, knows it. He knows the pains. So he knows the pains that relations of kidnap victims go through. So he had to come up with that law. You know, so no one knows the kind of sentencing that he will get next time. But Evans set a record in our country. He's the first kidnapper
Billionaire
to collect ransom in dollars. $420,000 in one operation.
$1 million.
One operation. 420,000. And there were others too that I collected dollars from. Now, the good-for-nothing people who kidnapped those train passengers, they too were collecting dollars all the way. In fact, someone told me that they would tell them that, look, go, your ransom is 100 million.
We want it.
We want it in dollars, and you must not change the money in one location.
They're so confident that
Go
nothing will
to
happen to them.
different places.
They can define.
Go to different places to change the money before bringing it to us. If you bring it to us, having changed it in only one place, you are playing with your life. So people had no choice. A particular friend of ours, the company paid 60 million. The friends and family members
came together,
had to look for the remaining 40 million. Some of the most bestial and useless people to ever walk the face of the earth were among those bandits who kidnap people. Those who kidnap those train passengers, because they were extremely wicked. You saw them even flogging them with not just ordinary sticks. Huge stems were being used to flog people. What was their offense? Just for traveling via rail. That was their offense. So, I have no sympathy for this fellow. In fact, he is one of those who made kidnapping popular in our country.
Yes.
Because when
he took it to the next level.
Yes, took it to the next level. Next level kidnapper, new generation kidnapper. You know, when they saw the kind of money that he had, he was using
gold wristwatch,
custom-made phones and all that.
With jammers.
Everything.
With jammers.
With jammers,
yes,
so that when you are looking
jammers
for him, it will be difficult. You know? He made Abba Kyari popular because that looked like perhaps his biggest catch. But today, fate has led Abba Kyari elsewhere.
It's like something that started from the Niger Delta and permeated across the southeastern part of the country and western part of the country. And you know Nigerians now, when we start something, everybody will sing the chorus throughout. So it's now a sing-song in the northern part of the country. But as at the time, the likes of Evans, they were wreaking havoc. It wasn't as widespread as this in the north that time. Banditry.
You know, the thing is that I remember some years back when I was with Tell magazine, we did a cover story about that one in the Niger Delta, about kidnapping becoming an industry, and we thought it was something small, and after some time, the thing petered out.
Yes.
But we saw a resurgence now, and this man, as BKO has said, he has so many things again. You remember that February 22nd, on February 25th, 2022, Justice Hakeem Oshodi has already sentenced him to life imprisonment. So he has so many cases against him now that at the end of the day, exactly,
he needs many lifetimes.
Exactly. So you now begin to wonder which of these is going to serve. But
so much in trouble.
It is a lesson that the wheel of justice may grind slowly, but surely it will catch up with you. And it is interesting that what has happened now should serve as a lesson to the others. I hope they are watching and listening to all these judgments and getting their acts right, because this man, in fact, I believe that in his heart of hearts, he would have thought that maybe one successful operation will have left the business.
No,
I mean,
no.
$420,000. How
Criminals
much is
don't do
that?
that.
Even as an American, if you have $420,000,
No, where do you want to get it from?
that's big money. Talk less of, you convert that to Naira, you know what it means. It shows that the greed that people have. You see, when people talk about poverty, we tend to romanticize it that poverty leads people to crime and not. No! I mean, if it were to be poverty, when you get that, how many lifetimes does he want to live to spend $420,000? I mean, I don't even want to bother myself converting it. I mean,
Man,
so,
you know the big story there is that after everything, I think the wife wasn't aware of, and the children, they were staying in Ghana. They didn't know what Mr. Ma was doing to put food on the table, and they were shocked. And if you remember that story in 2017, that woman came on air, she was crying, weeping like, baby, man.
well, you know,
They also claim that they looted some of their property and all that they are arresting people. Looted some of
some
things.
of those things are just stories for the gods.
The thing is, who
for
even
me,
wants to listen to that?
For me,
The important thing is
a
that he's
wife-
been arrested.
I mean, your husband, the Yoruba will say, you didn't, your child is not a washerman and is bringing clothes in every day. You are not asking him where he's getting it. What? She should have asked him, Oga, what kind of job do you
Business are you
do?
into?
What
That's the
business
wife.
do you do that all this money is coming
Well,
in?
how many wives will
Ask the husband right now.
people
So far, you put food
about
on
their
their table.
source of income?
No,
For
but
now,
it
how
gets
many
to,
wives?
it gets
Yes,
to
I'm telling
some
you,
point
it's all
when
about the Benjamins.
Once the woman is taken good care of, once you are taking good care of the woman,
Melo,
in today's world,
Just-
where their tastes,
As
their
blood.
appetite is undiminishing, you want them to be asking, you brought this thing, where did you get the money? In maybe our parents, mothers of old, today's women, they want the best.
Yeah.
If you are using a Palasa phone, she wants
iPhone 14
iPhone 14,
Pro
or if
Max.
there is a 15,
Pro Max.
you know, that is what they want. And if you can add a few things to your income
To spice
that
it up.
enables you to make your wife wear the best amongst her peers, put on the best jewelry amongst her peers. In fact, she will idolize you. She will worship you.
And not ask questions.
And the kind of quarrels that crop up in other homes
We never.
will not crop up in your home.
Yeah,
Because you've managed to shut her up.
Exactly. Anyway, that's true. That's true.
Owó la fi ń ṣọkọ obìnrin. Is that not what?
That's it.
Give us another day.
Ayo, wait, wait. We have vowed that we will not deceive ourselves on this program. We have vowed.
Reality, that's the reality.
A musician said, "We please women with two things,
Yeah.
and each of them
That's,
starts with the letter."
oh,
I will not talk more than
we
that.
know where we're going.